Dear students, welcome to the next session of Z transform, in which we will learn now how to find out inverse Z transform. And what is the method today? That is inversion integral method of finding inverse Z transform. Okay, so you can say here inverse Z transform, also we can say the heading for this. So in this inversion integral, previously we have seen partial fraction method. What is the compulsory condition for partial fraction method? The degree of numerator should be less than degree of denominator. That is very essential. But the main thing is, whatever f of z is given to you, you have to express that function in the form of f of z upon z. Then only we can apply partial fraction method. So there is no such constraint applied for inversion integral method. So you can apply this method generally anywhere. So what are the steps you see? Inversion integral method steps. Given is the function f of z. So this is in the form of numerator upon denominator. What we have to do is, first of all, put the denominator of f of z is equal to 0 and find the values of z. And these values are called as poles or singular points, which appear along with the order of n. Now you will see when we will go through the example. So what is a singular point and what is its order? Then you have to find your new function z raised to k minus 1 into f of z. Means your given function f of z is multiplied by z raised to k minus 1. So you will get a new function. Simplify that. Then for every pole which we are calculating here, at say z is equal to a is the name of the pole and the order is n. So for this pole you have to find out the residue. This is the speciality of this method. And the residue is given by this formula. Residue is 1 upon n minus 1 factorial. N is the order. The derivative of n minus 1th order. So whatever is the order n, you have to reduce the derivative by 1. So dn minus 1 by dz raised to n minus 1, and see this is the function which is to be taken. Z minus a raised to n multiplied by z raised to k minus 1 f of z. And after finding derivative, in that you have to place the value as z is equal to a. So after solving, you will get the first residue. Then you go for another pole, you will get the another residue. In this way you continue, and then finally you will have to find out the sequence f of k. That is your main target to do here. And f of k is calculated as sum of the residues, that is r1 plus r2. I have written dash dash dash. How many residues you have? Those many residues to be added here. Now see our first question. Find inverse Z transform using inversion integral method. Okay. Now this is the function given to me. So this function, what I am just going to say, this is function f of z. This is z square upon z minus half and z minus 1 by 3. This is a function which is given to us. Okay. Now when we will start the process. First of all, put denominator is equal to 0. So z minus half, z minus 1 upon 3 is equal to 0. Solve by usual method. So this gives me z minus half is equal to 0, or z minus 1 upon 3 is equal to 0, giving me z is equal to plus half and z is equal to 1 upon 3. Now see, this bracket is appearing one time and even this bracket is also appearing one time. So this is a pole. And what is the order of this pole? Order is n is equal to 1, as the bracket is appearing only one time. So whatever z value you are finding it out, it is called either a pole, or you may call it as a singular point also, but use common word pole, you can use it everywhere. And the order is 1. So this is also another pole. Z is equal to 1 upon 3, because I got z is equal to minus 3 becomes plus here. And what is the order of this one also? Order n is equal to 1. So see, order is calculated by using the brackets power. That is nothing but it is the order. So now as there are two poles, I have to calculate two residues. So now I have to calculate my new function. So what is the formula for new function? Z raised to k minus 1 multiplied by f of z. So this is equal to z raised to k minus 1, simply we have to take, and multiplied by f of z is your this function, maybe this or this, whatever you can. So z square upon z minus half and z minus 1 upon 3. Now you can simplify it little bit. See, z raised to k minus z raised to 2. Base is same, powers can be added. So minus 1 plus 2 means this is z raised to how much I am getting? K plus 1, and divided by denominator is z minus half, z minus 1 upon 3. Now this is a new function which I have to use when I am calculating the residues, and now I have to start my process for calculating the residues. So I will say here, for my first residue I am going to calculate. I have to mention here, for the pole z is equal to half, n is equal to 1. I may mention here order. For z is equal to half, this is a pole, n is equal to 1 is the order. I have to calculate my first residue, so I will write the formula. N minus 1 factorial, then dn minus 1 by dz raised to n minus 1, and then here you apply z minus a raised to n multiplied by z raised to k minus 1 into f of z. This is the formula, and in that I have to place z is equal to a. So let me apply. Now n is equal to 1, so this is, it is 1 minus 1 factorial. Okay, now see here, when I say n 1 minus 1, zeroth order derivative means no derivative, and then I will just simply place z minus a is nothing but half. This value is nothing but it is a. Okay, I have mentioned it here. See, z is equal to a, and then I have to multiply z raised to k minus 1 f of z. This is nothing but z raised to k plus 1 upon z minus half and z minus 1 by 3, and in this value I have to place z is equal to half as I am calculating the residue. So very first thing, see, these two factors will get cancelled. Now this is equal to 1 upon 0 factorial, and here meanwhile I got z raised to k plus 1 upon z minus 1 upon 3, and in that I have to place the value z is equal to half. Now what is 0 factorial? 0 factorial is 1. Always remember this. So this value will become 1, and now you place z is equal to half here. So half raised to k plus 1 divided by, this is half minus 1 upon 3, and then this is equal to, I can simplify it. See, no need to write down 1. This is 1 upon 2 raised to k multiplied by, I will write purposefully half, because it is half has power k also and 1 also, so I have separated, and see what is the denominator here, half minus 1 upon 3, by cross multiplication it gives me 1 upon 6. Actually for this 1 upon 6 I have separated this 1 upon 2, otherwise I may keep it together itself. So this is 1 upon 2 raised to k into 1 upon 2 is already there, and denominator goes in the numerator, so it is 6, 2 1s are 2 3s are, so this is equal to, I will get the first residue 3 half raised to k, I will call this as R1. So see here, separation like this is always our choice. If the denominator is supporting you to get it cancelled, then only you separate. Otherwise I might have kept it k plus 1 itself, as there is nothing to do. So first residue calculated. Now I have to proceed with the second residue, and how to proceed with the second residue, you see here the same process is to be applied. Now for some time I will keep the same reference for you, and let's move with the second derivative, so second residue. For the pole, now this second pole is z is equal to, see, this is 1 upon 3. I have kept it for you. 1 upon 3, this is equal to a, and we will mention here order n is equal to 1 again. So here if you apply, so R2 is the second residue, formula is the same, n minus 1 factorial, dn minus 1 by d z raised to n minus 1, and then here it is z minus a raised to n multiplied by here z raised to k minus 1 f of z. Some of the students even they calculate it directly without taking the derivative also, they don't write the formula. But purposefully I have written so that you keep on repeating the formula, and only with one formula your work will be over. So see, 1 minus 1 factorial, 1 minus 1 means 0th order derivative means no derivative, z minus a is 1 upon 3, the bracket power is 1, no need to write down, and z raised to k minus 1, this factor we have calculated here, it is z raised to k plus 1 upon, here you have z minus half, z minus 1 by 3, and in this simplification I have to place the value z is equal to 1 upon 3. Now 1 upon 3 will get cancelled. Now this is 1 upon 0 factorial, and now I may reduce the steps, directly you place in the remaining value, z is 1 upon 3 raised to k plus 1, and divided by, here you will have 1 upon 3 minus 1 upon 2. I have placed the value also, these two factors are cancelled. Now this is 0 factorial is 1, as I told you already. I will separate 1 upon 3 raised to k into 1 upon 3 divided by, now when you cross multiply, this will give me minus 1 upon 6. Again for this 6 I have separated 1 upon 3. 6 will go up and this will give me 1 upon 3 raised to k multiplied by 1 upon 3. This 6 will go up, denominator's denominator, and the minus sign can be given here. 3 ones are 3 twos are, so I got minus 2. 1 upon 3 raised to k. This is the second residue, and therefore finally you have to write f of k is equal to 2 residues calculated, r1 plus r2. So this is equal to r1 c we have written here 3 and half raised to k. Now second residue has minus sign, so place it here minus 2. 1 upon 3 raised to k, and you may mention, see here, this is positive value, so for this k is greater than or equal to 0. When it is negative value, you can mention here k is less than 0, and this is the value which you have calculated. This is our first example which we finished it up. Now let us make one change in the second example, and now let us raise the power. So take the combination of power 1 and power 2 itself. And the question still is the same. What is the question? Find inverse Z transform of the given function, right? So what is my second example? In that, let us write it down. Second example. Now let me write directly. F of Z is equal to Z cube divided by Z minus 1 upon 4 square multiplied by Z minus 1. This is my next function which is to be worked out with. Right, so f of z I have already considered. Let us start our process. We have to use inversion integral method. So put denominator z minus 1 upon 4 square into z minus 1 is equal to 0. This will give me z minus 1 upon 4 square is equal to 0, or z minus 1 is equal to 0. So see, if you separate this, z minus 1 upon 4 is equal to 0, this is appearing 2 times. This is important thing. So z is equal to 4. This is nothing but it is our pole. And what is the order for this? N is equal to 2, as the bracket has power 2. This I had already told in previous example also. Now here the bracket power is 1. So it is z is equal to 1. This is a pole. And for this order n is equal to 1. Right? Now we have to calculate the new function as usual. So new function is defined as z raised to k minus 1 into f of z. So this is equal to z raised to k minus 1 is simply a factor to be multiplied with. It is z cube upon, here it is z minus 1 by 4 square, z minus 1. Right? Now base is same again, the powers are added here in the numerator. So this will give me z raised to k plus 2. And the denominator is still z minus 4 square and z minus 1. This is my new function. Now always when you are calculating residues, always work with order 1, because the residue is easy. You don't have any derivative. So I will start calculating here only. For z is equal to 1. So I will work out for this first. Z is equal to 1. This is our A. For this pole, the order of this is equal to n is equal to how much you have? 1. So this is the pole, z is equal to 1, and for this we will work out with our formula. So what is my first residue? Now you know the formula. No formality should be there. Learn this formula now. As you apply it 2-3 times, you automatically will learn that. Okay? So this is z minus a raised to n multiplied by z raised to k minus 1 into f of z, and in that you have to place z is equal to a. So you should not waste a big time in that. So see, n is equal to 1, so I may write 1 minus 1 directly, it is 0 factorial. Now n minus 1 minus 1, 0th order means no derivative. Then here it is z minus a value is 1, the power is 1, no need to write down. This is the function which you calculated here, see, z raised to k plus 2 divided by z minus 1 upon 4 square and z minus 1, and in that you have to place z is equal to 1. So say first of all these two factors will get cancelled. 0 factorial is 1 as you know, and then wherever there is z I have to place 1. So 1 raised to k plus 2 and divided by, here it is 1 minus 1 upon 4 square. Okay. Now see, if I simplify, 1 raised to any power is going to be 1. So I can directly write here 1, and denominator, see here, cross multiplication will give me 3 upon 4. 4 ones are 4 minus it is square. So let me calculate it here only. So it is 9 upon 16. Denominator goes in the numerator 16 by 9, and this is my first residue which I have calculated. Clear? Now I have to go for the second pole. That is the part, this is very important thing. For this I have taken the example. So z is equal to 1 upon 4, this is the pole, and for this order n is equal to 2, and here is something new which you are learning, and for that actually the example is taken for, right? So let us work out. Here we will go for the derivative. See how to do. With that, again the formula, you know that second residue I am calculating 1 upon n minus 1 factorial dn minus 1 by dz raised to n minus 1. Then here it is z minus a raised to n, z raised to k minus 1 f of z, and in that I have to place z is equal to a. So start our work. Now n is 2, so this is 2 minus 1 factorial. Now here 2 minus 1 means it is 1. So first derivative I have to calculate here, d by dz. And then here you place z minus a is 1 upon 4. Now remember n is 2 here, multiplied by z raised to k minus 1. This is the function. So z raised to k plus 2 divided by, here it is z minus 1 upon 4 square and z minus 1, and z is equal to 1 by 4. Now this second power with this second power gets cancelled. So meanwhile this is 1 upon 1 factorial. You may write directly 1, and I have to go for this derivative. D by dz of z raised to k plus 2 divided by z minus 1, and after derivative I have to place z is equal to 1 by 4. So 1 factorial is 1, and here what I have to do is apply the quotient rule. So it is v square first of all. Start with v. V is z minus 1. What is the derivative? K plus 2, and the power is reduced by 1. So minus 1 means this will give k plus 1. 2 minus 1 minus z raised to k plus 2 will remain as it is. And what is z derivative? 1. And now in this derivative I have to place z is equal to 1 by 4. So instead of solving so much, directly I may place the value at z is equal to 1 by 4 here, and see what I am getting here. 1 by 4 minus 1, k plus 2 is a number, constant number here. 1 by 4 raised to k plus 1, and minus here I multiplied 1 by 4 raised to k plus 2, and still what I have in the denominator is 1 by 4 minus 1 square. Okay, let us simplify. So what I will get here, this is minus 3 by 4. K plus 2 is a number, I don't want to separate this. Now here these two I will separate. 1 upon 4 has power k and 1 upon 4, minus here too I will do the same thing, 1 upon 4 raised to k and 1 upon 4 square and whole divided by, here if I cross multiply I am getting minus 3 by 4 square. Okay. Now when I am just trying for this simplification ahead, what I am getting, you see here. So in this let us do simple calculation here. See, this is a simple number, this is a simple number, I will multiply. So this is minus 3 upon 16, right? Then k plus 2 still kept as it is, and 1 upon 4 raised to k is there, minus 1 upon 4 raised to k, and this will be 1 upon 16. Okay, and then divided by, here it is 9 upon 16, right? So I square. Now what I can do, simply I can say multiply numerator and denominator by 16. So you are multiplying numerator by denominator by 16. What will happen? 16 will get cancelled. 16 will get cancelled. What is remaining in the numerator? Minus 3k plus 2, 1 upon 4 raised to k, and then here minus, this 16 is getting cancelled, 1 upon 4 raised to k, and in the denominator 16 is getting cancelled, it is 9. Now from here 1 upon 4 raised to k I can take it common, and what is left? See, minus 3 k plus 2. Now here it is 1 and divided by, still the complete denominator is 9. So further what is expected from me to simplify? Just I can do like this. See, minus 3k minus 6 minus 1 divided by 9, and then this is equal to 1 by 4 raised to k. I will simply keep like this, minus 3k minus 7 divided by 9. Okay, so you may write minus sign taken common, 3k plus 7 and divided by 9 and then 1 upon 4 raised to k, and that much is enough to simplify. I don't think so further simplification is necessary. And then finally write down f of k. This is equal to how many residues you calculated? R1 plus R2. Our first residue was 16 by 9 and plus this, not plus, sorry, minus, as it is minus here, 3k plus 7 by 9 and 1 by 4 raised to k. Now if you see these answers, so again here k greater than equal to 0 as it is positive, k less than 0 as it is negative. Now see, if you will see these answers in the textbook, then you will see that such factors are adjusted little bit. No need for us to adjust it. Clear? Okay. Okay. Now let us continue with our third example, and something again different you are just going to deal here in this third example. First example, two factors where the order was 1. Now order 1 and 2 combination. Now what new you have here, you see, I can write it, see here, z square upon, now here I will apply the formula for a square plus b square. Now what is formula? We know actually the formula for a plus b, a minus b, a square minus b square. But this formula is a plus ib, a minus ib. So here if I apply this formula, b is nothing but 1. So this will give me z plus I, 1i and z minus I. These are the two factors which I have got here for this. So a is z and b is nothing but 1. So 1i, z plus 1i, z minus 1i. But we don't write 1, so I have written z plus z minus I. Very typical example. So then put denominator is equal to 0. So z plus I, z minus I is equal to 0. This will give me z plus I is equal to 0 or z minus I is equal to 0, and so this will give me z is equal to minus I. This is a pole. The bracket power is 1, so the order of this one is 1. Order n is 1. Okay. Now here z is equal to plus I. This is a pole, and for this again order n is equal to 1. Okay, and then we will define. Now don't worry for this I is simply treated as a constant. Majority of the times we are very much afraid of this I. Okay. Now what is my new function? New function I have to define as z raised to k minus 1 into f of z. This is the method part. So this is z raised to k minus 1 and I am multiplying here by this function z square upon z plus I, z minus I. And see now, henceforth I will keep the denominator in factor form only because I need it for the cancellation. Now here if I just see base is same, powers are added. This is k plus 1 upon z plus I, z minus I. This is my function and I have to start working out with my residues. Okay, so see, now my first residue for z is equal to minus I. This is the value of a. Order n is equal to 1. Okay, residue formula 1 upon n minus 1 factorial dn by minus 1 by d z raised to n minus 1, and here you have z minus a raised to n multiplied by z raised to k minus 1 f of z, and in this answer I have to place z is equal to a. So what is my R1C here now? When I place 1 minus 1 directly 0 factorial. Then when I say n 1 minus 1, 0th order derivative means no derivative, you know it already. Now z minus, what is a here? A itself is minus I. Okay, multiplied by, see how I have written, and this is my function z raised to k plus 1 upon the denominator is z minus I, z plus I, and this in that I have to place also plus and minus, doesn't make any difference actually. So z is equal to a. Now a means it is I, right? Okay. So when I place the value, 0 factorial is 1. So here it is z plus I, this minus minus became plus, z raised to k plus 1, denominator is z plus I, z minus I, and then I have to, after this simplification, I have to place z is equal to minus I. Bracket cancels, place the value. Now remember this is minus I raised to k plus 1. See how I have written, bracket is must here. So this is minus I and minus I. Now I will simplify it little bit. Now I will split it. Minus I has k power multiplied by minus a. Now see, I cannot convert this minus to any plus sign because we don't know k is even number or odd number, so will remain as it is. Divided by, this is minus 2i, and now minus I and minus I will get cancelled, and what I am having is minus I raised to k upon 2. Minus minus cancelled, my first residue calculated. Now second residue, for z is equal to plus I. This is the pole, and for this order n is equal to 1, and then again I have to write the formula R2 1 upon n minus 1 factorial dn minus 1 by dz raised to n minus 1, and then z minus a has power n multiplied by z raised to k minus 1 f of z. It is a formality now all the time, you know it. You might have learned the formula meanwhile. Okay, now let us see how to proceed. So if I place the value R2 is equal to, now directly let me write this as 0 factorial 1 minus 1. Now 0 derivative is no derivative. When I place the value, see z minus I has power 1, no need to write down. And what is our function? Z raised to k plus 1 divided by z minus z plus I, z minus I, and I have to place the value z is equal to plus I. Now immediately these two values will get cancelled. 0 factorial is 1, and I am getting here, I have to place here, see, I raised to k plus 1 divided by, now I plus I. Now again separate it, I raised to k multiplied by I and divided by 2I, where these two will get cancelled, and the second residue I got I raised to k by 2. And therefore, what is my sequence f of k now? This is equal to R1 plus R2. Now let us see. First value was minus I raised to k upon 2. Second value was I raised to k upon 2. Now we have to simplify this little bit. Okay. So little simplification is expected here because we never keep our answer in the form of I. That's why. So this is equal to, see now denominator is 2. Now I will take the positive number I raised to k plus minus I raised to k. Yet I have not done anything with this minus. Now use your knowledge of M1. You can say you have one substitution. I is nothing but e raised to pi by 2I. This is the value of I. I value is, it is nothing but, for you let me tell you, this is cos pi by 2 plus I sin pi by 2. This is the expansion, e raised to I theta. So sin pi by 2 is 1, cos pi by 2 is 0. So 1 multiplied by I is I, and I minus I is nothing but e raised to minus pi by 2I. Again you can go for only minus sign will come here and you will get the value. So if I am trying to simplify this at the last, then what I will get my final answer, see, f of k I am trying to go for is equal to, now minus I will replace by e raised to minus pi by 2I. It has the power k. Then plus second value is e raised to pi by 2I. It has the power k divided by 2. Now power raised to power multiplication. So this is e raised to minus pi k upon 2, and let us keep I separate, plus e raised to pi k upon 2I upon 2. This is the value, or you may just shift it like this also. E raised to pi k upon 2I plus e raised to minus pi k upon 2I and divided by 2. Nothing, I just shifted the two numbers like this, plus value and minus value, nothing else. And then what is this value? It is again the formula. Use e raised to I theta plus e raised to minus I theta upon 2. This is nothing but it is cos theta. So what is theta? That's why I have kept this I also separate in your simplification. So f of k I will just write here as, what is theta here? This pi k upon 2. This is the value. So minus sign of course I have to leave, and so this is nothing but cos pi k upon 2, and of course I have to mention here k is greater than or equal to 0. So this is the additional simplification in this example required. The rest of the places you don't need this additional simplification. Okay, so that's all from inverse Z transform, and today we are just ending the session with that. Thank you everyone.